Tempers flare between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Richard Griffin III called out by Ryan Clark. Shedeur's big bet. Hurts opts out, and A.J. Brown exposes NFL's culture code. Caitlin and Angel Reese's drama isn't ending anytime soon, so let's rewind. With just under 5 minutes left in the third, Angel Reese goes up strong for a bucket. Caitlin Clark fouls her hand, but legal enough for debate, and boom, it's flagrant 1. Text handed out. Social media in shambles. Yes, there was contact. Yes, emotions ran high. That's basketball. That's competition. But what's exhausting is how quickly the actual sport gets pushed aside for slow-mo drama and think pieces about what it really meant. We need to stop treating every Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese encounter like it's a subplot in a Netflix series. This isn't Mean Girls, the WNBA edition. These are athletes, grinding it out on the hardwood, and frankly, both deserve better than being turned into avatars for some never-ending culture war. Clark said it was just a take foul. Reese said, basketball play. Move on. Maybe we should take their word for it instead of pouring gasoline on the moment and pretending it's righteous commentary. Here's what should be the story. Caitlin Clark notching her third WNBA triple-double like it's a casual. The fever is finally clicking as a unit. The sky is showing flashes of potential despite the blowout. Aaliyah Boston is playing peacemaker with composure. And that's what fans of the game should be talking about. But no. Because where there are two competitive women at the top of their game, there's always someone desperate to narrate it as a rivalry, jealousy, or personal beef, and suddenly everyone's a body language expert or cultural critic. Let's be real, this frenzy isn't about the players. It's about how we choose to consume women's sports. We say we want the game to grow, but then we flatten elite athleticism into catfight content. It's lazy. It's tired, and it shortchanges everyone involved. Want the WA to keep rising? Cool. Then treat these women like professionals. Celebrate their numbers, their hustle, their defense, their leadership, not just their fouls and their feuds. Stop looking for villains and start watching the game. Because while everyone's debating a foul call, these women are out here setting records, building legacies, and proving again and again that they don't need drama to be worth watching. And now we're here, watching grown men on national platforms fan flames instead of focusing on the actual game. Take Robert Griffin III, who recently claimed that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. His take? Tone deaf. His evidence? Non-existent. But it didn't stop him from turning a foul into a racialized character indictment. That's when Ryan Clark stepped in with the realest words of the week. He's not having conversations at home about what black women endure in this country, said Clark. He called Robert Griffin III out for projecting anti-black women sentiment while constantly making corny jokes about milk and bragging about his wife's white skin, as if that's what makes her special. That bias, Clark said, clouds Robert Griffin's III's entire understanding of race and gender dynamics in sports. And he's right, this is bigger than basketball. It's about who's allowed to be fiery and competitive versus who gets labeled as angry or hateful. It's about how the media frames confident black women versus how it exalts their white counterparts. It's about how quickly the brilliance of a triple-double performance is overshadowed by a 1-second clip played on repeat. Let's be real. This frenzy isn't about Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark. It's about us, about how the sports world still struggles to give women, especially black women, the same narrative dignity afforded to men. We say we want women's sports to grow. Cool. Then stop treating every moment of contact as a scandal. Stop searching for villains in every post-game quote, and stop listening to people who think cultural insight starts and ends with their Twitter following. Here's what we should be talking about. Caitlin Clark making history. Angel Reese is battling hard in the paint. Aaliyah Boston is keeping peace and leading with poise. The WNBA is showing why it deserves primetime every single week. Because while too many are busy rewriting reality into a soap opera, these women are out here building legacy, with or without your tired narratives. Meanwhile, on the other side of the sports world, another rising young black star is making headlines, but not for drama. Shedeur Sanders, son of Deion Sanders, just inked a 4-year, $4.6 million rookie deal with the Cleveland Browns. A 5th-round pick who once held first-round projections and a 7-figure NIL valuation, Shedeur's draft slide surprised many. But now, with Deshaun Watson sidelined and a crowded QB room full of uncertainty, Sanders has a real shot to show out. Here's the difference. No one's spinning tales of locker room beefs or trying to make Sanders the villain in someone else's story. He's allowed to compete, grow, and exist in his own narrative. Why can't Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark be afforded the same? This double standard in sports storytelling isn't new, but it is exhausting. Reese gets branded aggressive, Clark gets labeled a target, their fans battle online while the women themselves stay focused on the game. Let's be clear. This isn't about downplaying racism, competition, or just ignoring intensity. But when fiery play from men is called leadership, and the same from women is dubbed drama, the problem isn't the players, it's the lens. On the other hand, Jalen Hurts is setting the record straight. The Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, who skipped the team's traditional post-Super Bowl White House visit, was asked why he didn't attend. Hurts didn't offer a scandal or a political stance. Just facts. I wasn't available. I don't think that's pertinent. Everyone who went and was available seemed to enjoy themselves. No drama, no spectacle, just a grown man making a scheduling call. Respect. Then there's AJ Brown, also of the Eagles, who went a step further, using his platform to address a hard truth most would avoid: the culture of objectification in the NFL. Speaking to teens in Delaware County's juvenile system, Brown didn't sugarcoat things. These guys in the league getting in trouble with women, they got a fetish, he said. When you have that type of money, it's at your leisure. You can pick and choose. He added that porn plays a massive role in desensitizing men, training them to see women as objects rather than people. That's the kind of accountability we should be amplifying, not fantasy beefs, not forced rivalries, and not men on podcasts speculating about players they don't even understand. From Clark and Reese fighting against media projections, to Sanders betting on himself, to Hurts bowing out with class, and Brown telling the next generation the unvarnished truth, what we're seeing is maturity in motion. And maybe that's the problem. The public loves the game, but struggles to respect the players as people, flawed, growing, and complex. So here's a thought. Let's stop dragging athletes into our drama. Let's stop projecting our issues onto their moments. Let's grow up like they clearly have, because this new era isn't here for the mess. They're here to compete, speak truth to power, and to shift culture, not play into it. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next update. I'm your host, Boma Briggs. You're watching Afropop Daily News, and this is African Origins Network.